Welcome to Waupaca Local Live. My name is Deb Gerke. I'm a co-host on the show along with my great friend.
Merci beaucoup. We're really happy to be here during the pandemic. We're still doing our show and we're glad that everybody is watching and participating. It's been a lot of fun doing it. So somebody just did a comment, actually I just have to read this one. Can't wait to see you back in New Zealand, Sam.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's wonderful.
Stephen Bree. All right.
Oh, that's incredible. So that was Sam's introduction. Welcome to the show, Sam Ness.
Sam.
Thank you for having me. So for the folks that are just tuning in with us now, this is a song that I wrote sitting on the back of my truck on my lunch break when I was working at Walgreens. And I wasn't super happy with what I was doing, scanning a couple hundred balanced rewards cards and asking, which if you don't have one of those, get one. They save you a lot of money. I've seen it. But I knew I didn't want to be in that town forever doing what I had been doing. And so I got all these ideas about all these romantic ideas of what I wanted to do and traveling. And it was just kind of a naive dream until one day I realized, why does it have to be a naive dream? Let's do it. So I packed up a week after I turned 18. I took a one-way ticket to Edinburgh, Scotland, ran out of money, became homeless, learned how to be a professional street performer, and had some adventures since then. All these ideas about all these... But this is the song that kind of started it off for me. So it's a song called Far From Here.
I need to go somewhere far from here. Somewhere I can breathe without drowning in the atmosphere. I need to feel the sun again. I need to find the light and let it in. Yeah, let it in. Let it in. I know that somewhere out there there's a place that I'll call home. I don't know where that is yet or how long I'm gonna roam, but I'm gonna roam. I can see it there. It calls to me. A little rowboat beside the sea. It calls to me. It calls to me. The smoke out of these veins. And the smudges under these eyes are washed away in the rain. Washed away. I know that somewhere out there there's a field where flowers grow. Somewhere there's no footprints in the freshly fallen snow. Somewhere light filters down through crisp October leaves. Somewhere there's a place full of serenity, and it calls to me. smoke out of these veins. And the smudges under these eyes are washed away in the rains. Washed away.
That was so beautiful, Sam. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
I love your style. I love everything about it. You're brilliant. Thank you so much for being on the show. Sam Ness, everyone. Give him a round of applause.
I'm really stoked to be here, and I'm looking over. I've got a little bit of battery left on my phone here, and I'm seeing some of the comments coming in, and there's some great friends' names popping up. So thank you so much, everyone that's tuning in.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. Very cool. So, Sam, you know, I think the theme tonight is going to be musical journey, because you've been journeying with music all around the world, and I definitely want to hear about that. But before you take us traveling like you kind of just did in that first song, tell us where the musical road began for you. Like, how did you decide you were a musician and a songwriter?
Yeah, to be honest, like I was just kind of an angsty teenager, and I was trying to be cool, so I tried, learning how to play guitar, and that was kind of my start at it. And then right around the same time, I was kind of roundabout brought into like the show choir world. I had some friends that were doing it, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll try it for a year, and I just fell in love with it, and I really. I more than I expected to. And so right around then I said, well, I'm going to focus on, playing this guitar a little bit more. And I started writing a couple songs. I took it a little bit more seriously. My, sophomore year of high school, I got into, the musical at the high school, the show choir stuff, started writing more songs, started picking up some open mic stuff. As soon as I got my driver's license when I was 16, I started playing open mics, and started playing 8 a week, every week religiously in Madison. So I was driving into Madison from Sauk City, my hometown, pretty much every night to go play music. And just from then on, I decided I wanted to do something in music. My plan was to do more theater stuff. And then I realized at a certain point that theater is just taking your own experiences and putting it through another character. And if you don't feel empathetic towards the issue that they're going through because you've had those experiences, you have no business doing that character. So I figured, before I go to school, I might as well go get some experiences. So that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. I love that. I was big into the swing choir, show choir, musicals and stuff in high school as well. So I didn't know that about you. That's cool that's kind of what started it all for you.
Yeah.
And very cool, you were so young and you started gigging and traveling around. That's awesome.
Yeah, I started going into play these open mics, and I got my first gig at a place called the Froth House in Madison, which sadly is no more, but I will always have a special place in my heart. Shortly after I started playing weekly at the Tip Top Tavern, there's an ode to that venue on my first record, and there's Madison has been so supportive and encouraging, and I couldn't be doing what I'm doing without like a scene like that to help me from a young age.
Oh, that's awesome. Props to Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so guitar is your instrument of choice. Are there any other instruments that you play?
Yeah, I started playing piano when I was young. I don't know how old I was. I was a wee little kid, but
This part will be of interest to Marcy because she's a piano teacher. So we always mention that, and she's going to want to know, did you like your piano teacher? Why did you ditch piano for the guitar?
Yeah, for me, I think I was just involved with too many things at the time. I was playing football, I was doing karate, I was shooting on the trap team, I was like doing a lot of different things, and then I just didn't practice. That's really what it was, and I didn't want to at the time. Um, I really enjoyed like playing. I just didn't want to learn new things, which I think comes a time, and so I kind of put that away for a little while. Started gearing towards guitar, and something about the way that the guitar functions just clicked a little bit more with my thinking.
Also,
And
an important piece with that whole guitar thing, like it's kind of hard to take a piano internationally to busk on street corners.
definitely,
So
I
the
have known.
guitar travels better.
Yeah, I have known people to do it, but it is a little bit more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more
But it
physical.
definitely helped me. Yeah. The
Yeah.
piano stuff, like the theory side of that, really
Yeah.
did help me when I picked up guitar. It made it easier to just pick it up and be like, oh yeah, sure, let's do this now. And since then, I've recently come back to piano a little bit. On my new album, there's a couple songs that I play just piano on, just me and that. So
Oh, that's great. Cool. Has that album been released?
it has. There's only a couple singles from that are on streaming platforms. The full disc you can buy on my website, www.samness.us, and on my Facebook page. But yeah, the full record will be coming out sometime in the next couple months on streaming platforms.
Okay, very cool. Can't wait to hear all of it. So let's see, where do we want to go next, Marcy? Oh, I want to know in this segment, and then we need to go to another song super soon. But I want to know, how did the songwriting thing start to happen?
I think I needed therapy. I think I like I said, I was an angsty kid, and I was listening to a lot of like Linkin Park and 90s punk stuff, and I was like, I can do this too. And with an acoustic guitar, you can only go so far with that. But I started kind of writing these songs like that at first, and then as I started going a little bit more into the hopeful side of things, that I started to listen to artists like John Butler Trio and Passenger and Ben Howard, and something about those that it was beautiful and raw, and I think that really did shape the way that I saw this instrument and music in general.
Yeah, that's great. One of the things that I really love about your music is the depth of the story. Like, you really feel your heart, and you do feel the experiences that you've had in your music. That not only the lyrics and the story that they tell, but also the way that you emote when you sing. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. So tell us what song you're going to bring to us next.
Yeah, I am going to do actually a new song of mine that I have recorded, and it won't be released for a while yet. But here's a little sneak peek at it. It's a song that I wrote right before everything went into lockdown. I had been on the road for like 3 or 4 weeks, and it was the middle of winter. I'd been touring really hard, which I absolutely love. I love being on the road. I get home for a day and I get antsy. I just want to keep going. But I was excited to like come home and chat with my dad and like take a shower, like like sleep in a real bed. And I got home and I sat down next to my dad on the couch, and he said, "Well, how's the tour?" And I said, "Yeah, good. How's things with you?" "Yeah, good." So, "Well, I got to go answer some emails," or like something that was like dumb, it was unimportant, but I just felt like I needed to keep moving and keep moving. And as soon as I stood up from him and I walked away, I just like, it hit me all at once. It's like, what am I doing? I've been looking forward to this for a month now. And now that I'm here, I'm just thinking about the next thing. So right then and there, I grabbed a piece of paper and I started scribbling some stuff down, things that had been happening leading up to that point. I wrote this song called Slow It Down. And then immediately after that, COVID hit. So I'm sorry, everyone, that I did this.
It was a bit of a premonition, was it?
I think I willed COVID into being.
Oh my God. Don't take on that responsibility, Sam.
Oh, this is my newest song, Slow It Down.
running up the miles. I've been burning through these days. I've been wondering a while how so much time slipped away. I've got so much left to do, and so much left to say. I've been living in tomorrow, and I've been breathing yesterday. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Slow it down, I need to be here now. Slow it down, I need to be here now. I swear I've been here before. I swear I've played this song on the 8th of December, somewhere years from now. I swear I know these roads, but I don't know this town. I know every Wi-Fi code, but not a single name in the crowd. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Slow it down, I need to be here now. Slow it down, I need to be here now. She looks worried now. She asks me where I've been. Trying to remember how I got to the bar we're sitting in. She looks different now. She asks me how I've been. I'm trying to remember how I got to the state I'm in. Slow it down, I need to be here now. Slow it down, I need to be here now. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Give me some room, this room is spinning now. Give me some room, this room is. Slow it down, I need to be here now.
Wow.
That is a great song.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Thank you.
I just say a couple things about it. Well, it's funny because during these times where we have less that we're supposedly doing, it's easier to get distracted, I think. Maybe that's a coping mechanism, but I think that that song is perfect.
It's an anthem for the times, seriously.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing that with us.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know,
it was.
take deeper topics with your music, and
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of, like I said, it's therapy for me. I write a lot of things. Sometimes I write something as though I've learned it, even though I haven't. And then by playing these songs in front of people, and the best way to learn something is to teach it scientifically. And so being present with people and encouraging other people to be present with each other helps me, and it reinforces it with me. And since I've written that song, it hits me all the time. Sometimes I'll just be in a hurry, or like just random small moments that'll hit me like, no, reel it in, slow it down, be here, be present with the people that I care about, especially whether that's being on stage or grabbing coffee with someone or looking at a tree. You gotta slow down and do that.
Totally.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
music can do that much better than anything, better than a pamphlet or a handout, or
Yeah.
if it can get into you. And I think as a music writer, when you write the song yourself, it really has a huge effect. I want to just tell you a couple comments on that song. We got, let's see, thanks for the opportunity to see you, Dawn Lyons Wood.
She is such a wonderful friend of mine.
Alan Stroback, I miss you. We must have you over for dinner soon. Is that to me? Or
Yeah, what are you making? What are we having?
Oh, you would be spoiled if you went over to Alan's for dinner. Oh, I am so lucky every time I get to.
Stephen Bree really liked that one, mate. I think the guy from New Zealand. And Mary Nystrom Webster loved it. I don't know if she's a fan.
Oh, Mary, I love Mary.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
we're
tuning in.
We're getting some great comments, and thank you everybody out there in Facebook land for watching and for listening to this wonderful show that we need so much right now. And we're going to get through this, but music certainly does help, and we're so happy that we're able to continue to do our show.
Yeah, for sure. And Sam, your music is therapy for us. It's therapy for you, and it's therapy for us too.
Speaking of therapy, I wanted to just bring up the topic. I hope that's okay, Deb. You know, you'd done a video with a psychiatrist about forgiveness. And, you know, it's sort of along these same lines where we're talking about, you know, deeper meaning and therapy and all that kind of stuff. And I watched that, and I was really in love with it, because I think forgiveness, number one, is such a powerful thing that we don't really talk about very much. But I wondered how you got hooked up with that guy. Was he your therapist, or? I mean,
I wish. No, Dr. Robert Enright is, he is a professor at UW-Madison, and has taught his
technique.
All over the world.
Process.
He has traveled everywhere, and he's such a really, really cool guy. And I was lucky enough to get in contact with him through my manager. He's a good friend of my manager, Jonathan Little. And so when he kind of presented the idea, and I had just written the song, I said, I've got this song. It's called Forgiveness. It's about forgiveness. And he goes, well, I know a guy. And I said, okay. And he just happens to be the UW teacher of forgiveness, and I was like, let's do it. Let's make this happen. So we were able to kind of team up and look at it both from the musical side and from my short amount of years of trying to learn forgiveness. And
I watched the documentary also. Sam, I think everyone should watch it. I don't know if there's a quick, easy way for you to tell the listeners where they can go find that video.
Yeah, I think if you search Forgiveness Sam Ness on YouTube or Facebook, it should come up. Like I said, it's the video with Dr. Robert Enright, and I believe that they posted it through the International Forgiveness Institute as well. So on their website, there's a lot of different ways to find it. Super encourage it.
Yeah, you just did such a beautiful job in that interview, just being the person who was asking the questions and bringing all the right things forward. And Dr. Enright was just so brilliant in his responses. So go out and listen to that, everybody. I feel like it should be like critical homework for everybody right now.
I really do, because it's not something that's very much talked about, especially these days where we're talking about all kinds of other things, but it's such a fundamental thing that's at the basis of so many.
Marcy, maybe you can put in the show notes later, or even in the stream, if you can find that link so that people have easy access to that, that'd be great. Sam, I've got another question. In the lyrics to that last song, Slow It Down, I Need to Be Here Now. Have you read Be Here Now?
I've not. No.
Do you know the book?
I don't.
Really?
No. I don't have a pencil on me. I need to write it down.
It's in your song. The book is Be Here Now. You won't forget. It's like a super, super famous book.
Okay.
Listening to the song, I would have thought that was part of the inspiration. So it'll come full circle now. You know how the song keeps speaking to you and you keep learning from it? Go pick up Be Here Now by Ron Bass.
I will, absolutely. I'm going to have a lot of time to read this winter. My next excursion is going to have a lot of reading time. So
this is a super groovy book. You're going to love it on every level. Pick it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Talked quite a bit about traveling. Can we, Deb, do you want to morph back into that, or what do you want?
No, I want to go back to the traveling. I want to get into that a little bit deeper, and then I know it's almost time for another song already.
Yeah. So your traveling has taken you far and wide, and if you want to just name a few of the most exotic places you've been, and I'm assuming that you have gigs when you go to these places, or maybe are you busking? So there.
Yeah, a bit of both. I did my first trip was through Scotland, England, France, Spain, Portugal, and Switzerland. From there, I wandered around this country a little bit. I wandered over to New Zealand and parts of Asia, Thailand, and Cambodia. Came back here for a little while, traveled around U.S. a little, and then I went back to the U.K. Came back here, and now I'm here.
You here now?
I'm here
Yeah,
now.
here now.
Favorite place that you went to in terms of just traveling?
Oh, that's hard. There's been so many incredible spots. One in particular that did stand out was the island of Koh Rong and Koh Rong Samloem, south of Cambodia. I did a couple shows out there between the two islands. It was, I think, 4 shows, and it was on each island. I was bouncing back and forth, and so I left my shoes and all my clothes and everything on the one island, and I was just going back and forth with like just this guitar and an extra pair of socks, I think, on the inside of it. And the one night after one of the shows, I had just finished, and we were having just a blast, and they. We were all dancing, having fun, having some adult beverages, and someone came up right at the end of the show and said, "Hey, you want to come jump in the ocean with us?" I said, "Yeah, right, sure." So I gave my guitar to the bartender, and I didn't have my shoes, no phone, no anything, and we ran through the jungle just under the moonlight through this path barefoot and got to the other side of the island. And there was this big dock, and they said, "Jump in." And I said, "I'm not jumping in there first." And then I eventually just went for it. And so we jump in, we're laughing, having fun, and they say, "Look down." I said, "What?" They said, "Look down." And where we were swimming, it was all bioluminescent plankton. And so as we're going through the water, it's like Avatar. Everything is lighting up where we're swimming. And I was like, what was in those drinks? You know? And then all of a sudden I realized it was that. And it was so incredible. So we went up to the beach, had a little fire under the moonlight. And that will just always be a really incredible moment. Yeah.
Wow.
So when you're traveling and doing shows, you mentioned you have a manager. Does somebody set up shows for you? Or are you relying on just one to the next, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, when I'm traveling internationally, it's always been just my own thing. I usually in the UK, I'm busking. Europe was a busking trip. New Zealand was busking besides a wedding that I had set up beforehand. And then the Southeast Asia tour was set up with someone, so that was a actual full tour. Crazy. It was 23 shows in the 26 days I was in Asia, so it was just a wild whirlwind of adventure. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
And
That-
so now are you kind of, obviously musicians are not playing as many gigs or any gigs depending on where they're at with COVID and stuff like that. What are you doing to fill your time now?
I am actually really lucky. I'm still on the road. I'm still doing a lot of shows right now. A lot of things like wineries or beer gardens or things where it's social distancing. Everyone can be outside, and still playing around the Midwest quite a bit. Everywhere from like Lake Geneva and Milwaukee up through to the Twin Cities and here in the Eau Claire area. So yeah, I'm still all over. I'm lucky.
That's awesome. What about winter? When winter comes, that's like everybody's question. Like, what are we going to do when winter comes
Yeah,
and we can't be outside?
I was originally planning, I figured, well, I'll just go back to the Carolinas. I've got some friends down there. I'll do some shows and I'll do some street performing. And then I said, nope, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. And so I have been kind of dreaming of some seclusion writing for a while. So I have found a cabin in the middle of the woods, and I'm going to be without my phone or social media for about 4 months, and 4 or 5 months. My plan is to get my van as stuck as I can, and then I won't be able to leave until spring comes and gets me out. So
That's stellar.
Really,
Ah,
that's really brave of you. But honestly, you're not the first musician I've heard that's doing that. It's like shifting your gears and using the time more effectively and not fighting it.
yeah.
It's interesting that you said that cabin in the woods. In fact, Hillary Reynolds is going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, I have a friend, Madison Malone, awesome musician out of Madison, and she wrote a record and talked about it in the sense that we as human beings are the only things that try to bloom all year round every year. And like nothing else in nature does that. We think that we can go nonstop, and I have thought that for a long time. And I wouldn't say that I love being on the road all the time, but I think that right now is kind of my time to rest and reflect, especially. So I want to take that time to really think about the things that I've done. I want to write about them. I plan on writing a book while I'm gone, working on a new record. I've got a project in mind that I've already kind of dove into a little bit, but yeah, so
Okay.
just,
So if there's more you can tell us about that, wait till after your next song. Or
yeah,
maybe you already told us as much as you can. Is it a big secret?
not really. No.
No? Okay, then let's dive into your next song. Lead us into that, and then let's come back full circle and talk more about what's next.
Okay, all right. So we were talking a little bit of traveling and some of the stories I want to write about. This is one of those. It's a song that I wrote. I was hitchhiking through the Outer Hebrides, which is a chain of islands outside of Scotland. I was hanging out in Oban, and I met this guy. He said if I ever made it out to the islands, I should come and work at his hostel. So I did. I went out and took a boat out there, and I went around this little island and said, hey, you know where Ben is? And they're like, yeah, Ben, he's that way. So I found his hostel and helped him do some stuff around there, and he took me out with a sea kayaking group. He told me that I was the assistant and that all questions should be directed at me, and I went along with it, and then they all quickly found out that I had no idea what I was doing. And so he took me out as part of the deal for helping him out. I went out to camp on the Isle of Barra, the beach there, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. The folks that are watching this, if you get a chance to just Google Isle of Barra, you can see how absolutely stunning it is. And so he took me out there, and I set up my tent, and the next morning, I woke up to my tent shaking quite violently while it was still dark, and I just hear this voice, Oi, is that Sam? American? I said, yeah. What do you want? It's like 3 a.m. Well then, get up. So I got out. He had this big thermos full of coffee. It was Ben and some hot bacon sandwiches, and we sat dangling our legs off this cliff watching the sunrise over the ocean, and we just had some great conversation, and then he drove me north, and I didn't see him again after that. But this song is about all of the people that you can meet and the experiences that you can have when you're open to it and when you just say yes to things, and you give to the world around you. It comes back to you. So this is a song called Alexander.
Truck pulled over to the side of the road. Said, where you trying to go? So I throw my guitar in the back, say, hell, I don't know. Well, I got things to see and I got itchy feet, I hit the road. And I got nowhere to be, and I got this hunger in me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I follow in your footsteps, Alexander. I need to find the truth. For your cause you were a martyr, so here's to you. Well, I got things to see and I got itchy feet, I hit the road. And I got nowhere to be, and I got this hunger in me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Well, I've been missing home, I need to feel cold. Say I've been missing home, I need to feel cold. Headed north, 'cause I got things to see and I got itchy feet, I hit the road. And I got nowhere to be, and I got this hunger in me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Nice. Thank you. Sam Ness, everyone. Wow, I feel like Waupaca Local Live is extra lucky tonight. This is such a joy, Sam. Thank you.
I love the travel stories. You know, I was
Me
a traveler
too.
in my younger days, and it's just, I just remember at the time thinking, I wonder if what it's going to be like to be the age I am now. Will I look back on that? Will I ever meet younger travelers? And it's really kind of held out that I meet young people that have traveled or are still traveling, and it just really, there's such a weird loop there. I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know, it's like there are people through the ages who have done what you're doing and enjoyed it, but to be doing it with music too is really, really cool. Must just be a total joy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you ever think about that, Sam? Just one sec, Marcy, because that just reminded me. Like, do you ever think, Sam, as you're walking across the earth and all these different places, like all the different people that have walked in those same footsteps, and other musicians that have stood in the same spaces that you've stood around the world? That's powerful.
Yeah, you know, so here's one actually that I have just recently found out. I don't know if you're familiar with Passenger, the band. He wrote a song called "Let It Go" or "Let Her Go," and I was on my way to see him in Chicago at a show, and he. I was just kind of scrolling through his Facebook or something, and I found a photo of him busking in Glasgow, where I stayed for about a year, and he's playing underneath a statue that I used to play every single day. And so to go see him at a huge theater in Chicago, freshly, you know, that came full circle. And he just released a new album a month or two ago, and there's a song in that called Queenstown. And that song references Queenstown, New Zealand, where I spent most of my time busking. And he talks about the Piano Man. And I know the Piano Man. His name is AJ Hickling, I'm sorry. And AJ has this piano that he travels with busking next to the water. And on the side of that piano, there was a painting of a fairy woman dancing, and that is what inspired the artwork behind my second records, Lullabies and Fairy Tales. So it's just, yeah, absolutely. There's so many intertwined things with my music and other artists that I love, and seeing where they were busking or referencing subways in London that I've ridden on my way to go busk, or you know, whatever. It's absolutely. I think about that too much, probably.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
That's great. So when you travel, do you bring all your pedals along with you?
Yeah, actually, I have a 90-liter rucksack that I bring a small battery-powered, not as small as I'd like, amplifier, and I bring my loop pedal, I bring a handful of other pedals, all my cables, a small mic stand, microphones, and basically it only leaves room for like an extra shirt.
That's what I was going to say. Like your whole pack is gear, and then you got like one shirt, right?
Well, on top of that, I have my hammock and my tent and my extra supplies, because a lot of my time I'm sleeping outside when I'm traveling. I'm sleeping kind of out in the woods. If I can't make enough street performing to stay in a hostel, I'll go and sleep in the woods or wherever. And so it's basically survival equipment, music equipment, and a nice shirt.
That's amazing. And I can totally tell that you're an international person, not just local to Wisconsin, because if you were just local to here, no one says rucksack.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. my my
Your
bag.
backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I picked that up actually.
That's European. That's very
Yeah.
European. Yeah, cool.
So your pedals, I just want to do like, I know we can't do a whole show on techie stuff and music stuff, but you have a like a vocal harmony. That's a pedal.
It is. Yep, that's one of them.
Like you set it for thirds, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's actually a really cool pedal from TC Helicon that it runs my guitar through it and my mic through it, so that if I'm playing like a minor chord on my guitar, it'll automatically harmonize a minor interval.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
so cool.
yeah, it's pretty
In and
cool.
out of that while you're singing. Are you also drumming with your foot? I wish we could have seen your feet.
Yeah, I drum with my foot. Sometimes do loop drumming stuff, but yeah, you can get it like this harmonizer. You can go like full Daft Punk, like ooh.
Yeah.
It just kind of
So, so
I guess-
Sam, can I ask him a favor, Marcy? Okay, Marcy's gonna be like, seriously, you asked this during the show. Could we do like after your fourth song? Would you do like a 5, 7, 8 minute improv with your looper and do some cool stuff?
Yeah, we
Not
can.
to put
I
you
can
on
do
the spot, but
totally. I can do something.
I think that'd be really fun because
Yeah.
I mean, your bio says that, like with your loop system and everything that you do, that you create sounds that sometimes sound larger than a whole band, and that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Yeah,
But I think that that's the thing I wanted to get at, is that it's not like he's just pressing a button and that's happening. He's doing one thing with
Yeah.
his left foot, one thing with his right foot. He's playing the guitar and he's thinking through all those parts. It's like incredible multitasking musicians who use these pedals, and I just want to call that out because
Seriously.
it is amazing. You're not just a guy with a guitar and
Yeah.
a song. I mean, you're managing your own internal band,
Yeah.
and you're pressing the loop, the vocal harmonizer, and then you're pressing a loop pedal. And I just think that that's fascinating.
yeah. A lot of times in my shows, I like to kind of. I'm switching this over here so I can hear it, but I like to go and explain kind of how the loop system works. And this other, I'm going to turn this up. It basically records what I say or what I play on my guitar, and then it plays it back in a circle. Records what I say or what I play on my guitar, and then it plays it back in a circle. Records what I say or what I play on my guitar, kind of turns it back in a circle. Records what I say or what I. So it just keeps going.
Wow. That's cool. Thank you.
Like Mr. Gadget on music. It's so cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, like to be able to have your head in the song that you're doing and keep the song flowing and be doing all that other stuff, like that's some stellar coordination.
Thank you.
Your brain is firing like in all ways.
Right. And then I try to like pick something like, what am I having for breakfast? And I'm like, I can't even like process that much information at one time, you know?
Well, that just means that your gifts are on fire and alive when you're doing your music, and that's exactly the way it should be. Yeah.
Cool.
That's
All
cool.
right. Do we want?
Okay, so we have to come full circle, Sam, on you're going to tell us a little bit more about the what's nextness and this project.
So I'm working on a new kind of project that I'm leaning towards like the sounds from like Novo Amor and like Bon Iver into like Vancouver Sleep Clinic. There's a lot of these sounds that are very, it's more about, I think, the soundscapes and like then not so much like, oh, here's a song, pow. Like it's like the whole record is all connected. And so I have already started a couple projects. I've got some new equipment that I'm bringing into this that I haven't used before, different synthesizers and different instruments, different guitar sounds, just like a lot of really, really new things for me. So half of it is going to be recording that project. The other half is I really want to focus on writing a book. I want to write about the philosophy of street performing and how it's affected my life up until this point. And I can't say, like, I'm still a young dude. I can't say that I know anything, but I have taken things from the philosophy that I was given from other street performers and really incorporated it into how I live my daily life. and it's just really changed how I see the whole world. So I'd like to just kind of write it down more for myself, and if people want to read it, sweet. But
That's brilliant. Now I have another reason to look forward to spring. There's some pretty good ones when you live in Wisconsin, looking forward to spring.
Yeah.
Now you just gave us more, so thanks for that.
I'll have
Not that you have to be finished by spring. I guess I shouldn't put that pressure on, but you're going deep into the winter mode to work on this stuff, and
Yeah.
that's exciting.
That's the plan. Hopefully, I will emerge from my cabin with this book and album together as a new thing. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about it. So I have a weird question, Sam,
Yeah.
but I've been curious because in so many pictures, I see you wearing a bear paw pendant.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing it right now.
I know, I saw that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, this is a very close friend of mine that I met in Glasgow. Ended up traveling, I think, shortly after to India. I went onward to a lot of Europe. I came home. She went off to Kenya. She's from Australia, and she was in Nairobi. And a lot of my music is very nature oriented. It's very that last song, Alexander, is a reference to Alexander Supertramp of Into the Wild. And so I told her she knows that I get a little in my head sometimes, especially if I spend a lot of time on the road. I do have a hard time slowing down sometimes, and so she asked one of her friends in Nairobi to make this for me, and it's the wildness that is grounding for me, so that when I'm stuck in a big city and I want to be sitting in a tree instead, I always have nature with me here, and since then has meant even more to me. A close friend of hers that kind of is in the tight circle of people that sent this over, that made this for me. I think about how lucky and how fortunate we are here. She was writing to me. She was really feeling down that this man that had been teaching her drums and who was like a community role model, a leader, just all around fantastic person. Nairobi there's a lot of slums. There's a lot of things that could be better about that city. And for such a positive person, found out that he had a brain tumor, and to get that removed was going to cost $200, which here it's a big night out. Over there, that's the difference between someone's life. And when I was in Southeast Asia and a meal costs $1, I think about that all the time, how fortunate we are here that we really don't have to worry that much about it. And I did a couple shows. I was feeling for her and for him, and I was like, hey guys, let's help someone. And these people in the audiences had never met this person, I just said, hey, there's someone that needs our help, let's do it, and raised like $800 and just sent it over. And he didn't need surgery. He was able to afford such good medication that it helped him, and he's back to normal now. So I wear this thinking about looking forward to going and seeing him, meeting him, and getting to experience that other life. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so glad I asked. I knew there was a good story with that bear paw.
Yeah, if Millie's watching right now, shout out to Millie for sending this over for me.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Sam, take us into the next song.
Let's see. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Let's see what tuning I'm in here.
And just one more thank you to everybody that is listening and watching tonight on Facebook. We appreciate your support, or just your involvement. Actually, it's all for good, and we love doing the show, and we love just seeing that people are enjoying it. And we encourage you to go to Sam's website and check him out some more. Support live music, support musicians that do live music, and right now that's about checking out their websites and purchasing their music and sharing it with people that would love it.
Yeah, so it's hitting me, Marcy. This is song number 4. This flew by in a hot second tonight, I feel like.
It is.
So thank you, Sam Ness. Sam, before you go into the song, tell everybody your website again and where else they can find your music.
Yeah, you can find me on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Snapchat, Reverb Nation, YouTube, I've got an email list. I can give everyone my social security number. No, my no, my website is www.samness.us, and I do have a bunch of videos there from my new album. I have upcoming tour stuff on there. I have my merch. I have everything, including just downloads. So if you just want to like download the music, you can do that off of there.
It's very generous.
Excellent. Yeah.
Including this next song. I think that's a good transition into this.
Okay.
This is a song that I wrote before and during my last UK trip, and as I came home. Is about my feeling kind of selfish. I had a lot of issues. I mean, we all have our issues, but I was really wrapped up in my own head, and I felt myself not being able to be there for the people that I care about when they needed something because I was too wrapped up in my own stuff. And I went back to the UK just to dance and drink the night away and do crazy stuff. I'm just going to leave. I didn't think about healing. I had no intention of healing or doing anything positive. I just went with the intention of forgetting. And my friends over there, my good friends, kind of saw me hurting a little bit, and they walked me through a lot of the things that I was going through. And I didn't know that that's why I needed to be there with those specific people. When I came home, I felt so much more free and light, and I was able to be there for the people that I love. It's like who needs me? I'm back. I'm here. I'm actually here now. So this song is about that journey. It's a song called Storms Inside of Me.
Lying in the cold, in the dark, it's true I lost my way. Though I'm jaded, I'm wasted, I'm tired, I still beg this day to fade. This tangled mind of mine sees truth in silhouettes, though the flame that casts the shadow is long since gone to rest. This road's for no one else. Must do this for myself. I came for what I wanted, was given what I needed. Now I'll give what I've been granted, like storm clouds to the sea. I'll swim in golden skies, and I'll breathe in forest green. I will scale these mountains and face these storms inside of me. Somewhere in northern Wisconsin, I found my gravel roads, and though the river washed my body, found that I've no heart of gold. I thought that space would give me freedom, but the emptiness felt cold. I turned my back on resolution, unearned trust in what I know. This road's for no one else. Must do this for myself. I came for what I wanted, was given what I needed. Now I'll give what I've been granted, like storm clouds to the sea. Swim in golden skies, now I'm breathing forest green. I will scale these mountains and face these storms inside of me. I turn my focus from the earth, from my bones I feel the heat. With hazy eyes I take the sunrise with my friends alongside me. We speak of days to come, I've no fear of where I've been. I found a new beginning. I found a new beginning. Tangled with the ashes from last chapter's end. For what I wanted, I was given what I need. Now I'll give it up and granted, like storm clouds to the sea. And I'll swim in golden skies, and I'm breathing for a screen. I will scale these mountains, face these storms inside of me. I will scale these mountains and face these storms inside of me.